Okay, so many things have been said, so there will be some overlap, and I will try to skip many slides. And in fact, we lack data regarding the very advanced patient, and in fact, as said previously, we have data on the Turquoise 2 study, and the Turquoise 2 study is concerning mainly cirrhotics, and only cirrhotics, but these are child A cirrhotics. These are not decompensated cirrhotics. They have been chosen at child A patient, and this with a platelet counts over 60,000. And so we cannot, and albumin over 28 grams per DL. So indeed, in this series, in this study by named Turquoise, there is probably more advanced cirrhotics than in other studies, but these are not yet advanced patients with child B cirrhosis and child C cirrhosis, and we have no data yet regarding this patient. So I mean, this conclusion, which that has been given for the Turquoise 2 study, are not fully cannot fully be translated to more advanced patients, and we have to be cautious regarding more advanced patients. So you know that in the Turquoise 2, this is cirrhosis child A, 2 groups of patients who receive the combination therapy 12 weeks versus 24 weeks. You have seen these excellent results and impressive results in terms of virologic response, and you can see that in genotype 1b, there was no difference between the 12 weeks and 24 weeks regimen, while in genotype 1a, there is a slight trend in favor of the 24 weeks. This has been presented, and I will not go into detail, so I will go rapidly, but you have seen also that the tolerance for cirrhotic patients is quite good. I mean, this is the experience of all interferon-free regimen. The tolerance is much better than with interferon, as presented, for instance, yesterday. Fatigue is present, but is concerning 40% of the patient. And you can see that anemia, which is always one of the main issues in cirrhotic patient, is only present in 10% of the patient. So you can see also that the relapse rate was higher in the 12 weeks group than in the 24 weeks group, and I think we have to keep this in mind when we will treat more advanced patients, and this is also the experience, because this is the experience of other drugs such as sofosbuvir or daclatasvir in advanced cirrhotic patients. When you have a too short time of period of treatment, you have more relapse. And so I think that we have still to wait the results of study in more advanced patients in order to know what is the right duration of treatment for this patient. Again, you can see here in genotype 1a, so if we go more in depth, you can see that clearly if you go to more difficult to treat patients, and for instance, genotype 1a, null responder, this is clearly, there is clearly a difference. These are small groups, but there is clearly a difference in this genotype 1a null responder between 12 weeks and 24 weeks in terms of sustained virologic response. And I think that this should keep in mind when we will treat more advanced patients in this group. In genotype 1b, this is not the case. As you can see, these results are extremely good and the same in all groups. Here it's only one patient, but again, I advocate you to look at these groups, which are only 3 patients here, 10 patients here, before to draw definite conclusion regarding the exact duration of the treatment, and we have to wait for more patients and more advanced patients before to say that 12 weeks is enough. So few severe side effects. As said previously, bilirubin was increased in some patients over 3 times the normal value. So we have to follow this cautiously. And you can see also that the number of patients with hemoglobin below 10 grams was 10%. So this has to be followed. So now I want to finish this talk regarding the liver transplant field. So in comparison to other drugs with interferon-free regimen, one of the points is the presence of mainly ritonavir. So ritonavir has a strong drug-drug interaction with cyclosporine or tacrolimus. So we have to manage differently these patients, this transplant patient, regarding the drug-drug interaction after transplantation. So there is currently some ongoing study in the liver transplant patient, but there is already a phase 2 study in some patients, 34 patients, with a fibrosis stage below F2 or equal to F2 after transplantation. You can see here that the old patient has to, the immunosuppressive therapy has to be modified, and I will show you this just more in detail. So this was a phase 2 study on efficacy and tolerance of the combination therapy with AbbVie drugs in patients with HCV infection post-transplantation. All patients were genotype 1, fibrosis were 2 at maximum, and no patients were treated with PEG plus Riba after transplantation. The dosing of ribavirin was free for the investigator, and what the recommendation for the CNI adaptation was to decrease the dosing of tacrolimus to 0.5 milligram per week or 0.2 milligram every 3 days. So this is exactly what we are doing for other PI, such as PI for HIV patient, but also a protease inhibitor as boceprevir or telaprevir. So the same precaution should be done with this drug, and cyclosporine should be given to at the dosing of cyclosporine should be divided by 5 of the initial daily dose once a day. So clearly, this is, you have to decrease sharply the dosing of tacrolimus and of cyclosporine when you use this combination. This is not said here, but you have also to keep in mind to re-increase the dosing of tacrolimus and cyclosporine when you stop the treatment because you face the risk of rejection when you stop the AbbVie treatment, the ABT combination. So in this study, duration of treatment first was 24 weeks, and all patients receive the 4 combination of ABT plus ribavirin. So indeed, the first results are impressive. We have not yet all the data, but you can see on the 26 first patient, 96% SVR is really exceptional. So this has to be confirmed with the full data, since at this start there were 34 patients. So we have to wait for the final result. We have to wait to see if this is confirmed for all patients. You can see that one patient has a relapse immediately post-treatment with appearance of de novo mutation. But the first results are really impressive, and I think that these drugs are really challenging for our transplant patients. Again, the tolerance was quite good, as you can see, with despite the use of ribavirin but without interferon. You can see that 23% of the patients have hemoglobin below 10, so, and 3% of the patients have an hemoglobin below 8. You can see also that the EPO use was performed in 14% of the patients. You can see also the dosing of ribavirin used by the investigator from 400 milligram to 1,000 milligram in 35% of the patients. There was one premature discontinuation for rash and anxiety, no rejection, and there was, as you can see, some patient with a high tacrolimus level at the start, with a mild increase of creatinine. And in my experience with the use of PI in the transplant patient, there is always a learning curve in this management. My experience is that it is really manageable because we have the experience of HIV patient, we have also the experience of telaprevir or boceprevir. So this can be done, but this has to be done by experts and with a very cautious attention, particularly at the start. So, and I think that I will finish here. So clearly, I want to conclude on the fact that the results of ABT therapy plus or minus ribavirin with 12 weeks or 24 weeks treatment are extremely impressive in cirrhotic child A. We should not extrapolate these results fully for child B and child C patient. And the experience of other interferon-free regimen shows that in many advanced cirrhotic patients, in patients the more difficult to treat who are prior non-responder, you have to increase the duration of treatment and sometimes to modify the dosing, particularly in patients with ascites. So we should not extrapolate fully before data are provided in more advanced patients. For transplant patients, I think clearly that the first results are extremely promising. The only point is to manage a drug-drug interaction between ritonavir and cyclosporine and tacrolimus, and also again to see if the first results are confirmed, and we have to wait the results of phase 3 study which are ongoing in US and in Europe. Thank you very much for your attention.